It was the winter of 2018 when the daughter first saw Amelia move. The doll had been stored in the attic of their home for decades, forgotten among dusty boxes of old photographs and heirlooms. She was a beautifully crafted Victorian-era porcelain doll with an elegant but unsettling presence. The family decided to clean her up and display her in the daughter's bedroom. But within days, strange things began happening. That night, as the girl lay half asleep in bed, she noticed Amelia's head had shifted slightly. The doll had been facing the window, yet now her lifeless glass eyes seemed to be watching her. She felt a cold chill, but chalked it up to her imagination. However, it would not be the last time Amelia exhibited strange behavior. Amelia's true backstory dates back to the late 1800s. She was originally crafted by a renowned doll maker in Germany, a gift for a young girl named Elizabeth, the daughter of a wealthy British family. Elizabeth adored Amelia and would take the doll with her everywhere. According to family lore, the bond between the girl and her doll was inseparable. Tragically, Elizabeth died at a very young age after a sudden illness swept through their household in 1892. After her death, her heartbroken parents kept Amelia as a keepsake, hoping the doll would provide some small comfort. But from the moment of Elizabeth's death, strange events began occurring around the doll. Family members reported hearing Elizabeth's voice calling out to them, and Amelia would mysteriously shift positions as though being played with by an unseen force. Over time, the family became frightened of the doll, believing that Elizabeth's spirit had attached itself to Amelia. The doll was eventually locked away in the attic, where she remained untouched for decades. Fast forward to 2018, when the family in the UK, descendants of Elizabeth's relatives, stumbled upon the old doll while clearing out the attic. Unaware of the dark history attached to Amelia, they placed her in their home, unwittingly inviting the paranormal disturbances that had plagued their ancestors. The night the daughter first saw Amelia move was just the beginning. Objects in her room began moving by themselves. Books were displaced. Her jewelry vanished only to reappear neatly arranged near Amelia. And at night, she would wake up to hear faint giggling or whispered words, though no one else was around. The feeling of being watched was overwhelming. The family started noticing cold drafts and strange occurrences, even when Amelia was moved to the living room. Her presence seemed to have a profound, unsettling impact on the entire house. Fearing for their safety, the family contacted a local paranormal investigator who brought equipment to measure temperature and capture potential activity. Upon entering the room where Amelia was kept, the investigators' tools immediately malfunctioned. Batteries drained within seconds, and the room registered an unexplainable drop in temperature, despite the central heating being on. Even more eerie, the investigator claimed to have heard faint whispers, as though a young girl was trying to speak. They also noted that Amelia's dress had subtly shifted, and her glassy eyes seemed to follow their movements. The investigators' research revealed the full story of Elizabeth and her connection to Amelia, dating back more than a century. It was believed that Elizabeth's spirit, unable to move on after her untimely death, had attached itself to the doll. Over the years, Amelia had become a conduit for Elizabeth's lost soul, perhaps seeking attention or comfort. While the activity around Amelia had quieted for many decades when she was hidden away, her reappearance in the modern day seemed to have reignited the paranormal occurrences. After consulting with experts, the family reluctantly decided to part with Amelia, fearing that keeping her in the house could lead to more dangerous manifestations. The doll was handed over to a local museum curator who specialized in haunted artifacts. The curator, Alice McKinnon, was immediately captivated by Amelia's disturbing beauty and history. She placed Amelia in a sealed display in her haunted artifacts exhibit. However, Amelia's chilling influence did not stop there. McKinnon reported that cameras placed around the doll captured unexplained movements. Amelia's head would tilt slightly, her hands would shift positions, and, in one particularly disturbing moment, a video recording showed the doll's lips parting, as if attempting to speak. Museum visitors who came too close to Amelia often reported feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness or anxiety, and some claimed to see the doll's eyes blink. In 2021, a visitor to McKinnon's museum experienced what he described as a nightmare after standing near Amelia for too long. In his dream, he saw a young girl, dressed in Victorian-era clothing, standing at the foot of his bed. She spoke only a single sentence: "Why did you leave me?" The man, startled by the intensity of the dream, reported it to McKinnon, who confirmed that other visitors had reported similar experiences after being in Amelia's presence. Some visitors even claimed to have had vivid hallucinations of Elizabeth herself, wandering through the museum late at night, searching for her lost doll. In another incident in 2023, a woman claimed to have seen Amelia move while visiting the museum. The woman reported feeling a sharp cold rush as she stood in front of the doll's display. Moments later, she swore that she saw Amelia's porcelain hand shift ever so slightly. The event was captured on museum cameras, though skeptics continue to argue that it was simply a trick of the light. However, the woman insisted that the feeling of dread she experienced was very real. McKinnon, fascinated by the recurring activity surrounding Amelia, now keeps the doll in a specially secured case, only opening it for investigations. Paranormal enthusiasts and investigators have flocked to the museum, hoping to witness Amelia's movements or hear her whispered voice. Amelia's story, rooted in the tragic death of a young girl, continues to grow as new incidents involving the doll emerge. Each new report adds another layer to her already eerie and disturbing legacy. While some believe that the doll is simply an object with a dark history, others are convinced that Elizabeth's spirit remains trapped within Amelia, seeking something, perhaps comfort, perhaps vengeance. For now, Amelia remains one of the most chilling haunted dolls on display, and her legend only continues to grow with each new report of paranormal activity.